Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. I'd like to share some key tips to help one easily and effectively memorize the Qur'an. First, obtain a copy of the Mus'haf. It helps a great deal to get a copy of a Mus'haf for yourself and hold on to it throughout the process of memorization. There is a specific reason for this. When you read from the Mus'haf, it leaves an image in your mind and creates an eidetic memory. Every organization prints copies of the Mus'haf in a certain way. They vary in font size and layout. Some Mus'haf are printed using big fonts, while others with smaller fonts. For example, we have this copy of the Mus'haf printed by Shirka Rawat al-Mustaqbil. They have printed this Mus'haf. They have printed this Mus'haf using smaller fonts. As you can see, in a span of 2 pages, they have printed 10 surahs. On the right side, there is Surah Al-Fil on the top, then followed with Surah Al-Quraysh, Surah Al-Ma'un, Surah Al-Kawthar, and Surah Al-Kafirun. Then on the next page, it's Surah Al-Nasr, Surah Al-Masad, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Falaq, and Surah Al-Nas. So in a span of 2 pages, there are 10 surahs in this Mus'haf. And in this copy of the Mus'haf, printed by King Fahd Qur'an Printing Complex, under the patronage of Malik Salman, Khadim al-Harimain al-Sharifain Malik Salman ibn Abdulaziz Al Saud, they have used slightly bigger fonts to print their Mus'haf, and you'll find only 6 surahs within 2 pages, starting with Surah Al-Kafirun, Surah Al-Nasr, Surah Al-Masad, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Falaq, and Surah Al-Nas. So you'll find there are 6 surahs in 2 pages in this Mus'haf, and there are 10 surahs in this Mus'haf within 2 pages. So it doesn't matter which copy of the Mus'haf you choose, as long as you stick to it throughout the process of memorization. I would like to share another example. This copy of the Mus'haf, printed by King Fahd Quran Printing Complex, each juz is divided into 20 pages. Surah Al-Baqarah is on the left side of the Mus'haf. Then after 20 pages, the second juz starts, page number 22. Then again, after another 20 pages, the third juz, page 42, juz number 3. And fourth juz, similarly page number 62. So each juz is divided into 20 pages, and each juz begins on the left side of the Mus'haf, top left. Except for juz number 7 and 11, all the ajza are on the left side of the Mus'haf, on the top left side. So this is another example. This will help you keep track of how much you have memorized from each juz. So what is the first step recommended for effectively memorizing the Qur'an? The first step is to obtain a copy of the Mus'haf for yourself and hold on to it throughout the memorization process. And why is it important to use the same copy of the Mus'haf during memorization? Using the same copy of the Mus'haf helps create an eidetic memory, because reading from the Mus'haf leaves an image in your mind. Second, listen to the recitation of the Qur'an. Make it a regular practice to listen to the Qur'an recitation in your free time, on your way to work, on your way back from work. People are at different levels. Some memorize by reading from the Mus'haf, while others memorize through listening to the recitation. The companions radiyallahu anhum ajma'in memorized the Qur'an by listening to the Prophet's recitation. It is well known that listening to the recitation of a surah or an ayah repeatedly helps in memorizing it with ease, as illustrated by Hisham. Hisham radiyallahu anha said that she memorized Surah Qaf directly from the Prophet ﷺ because he used to recite it in the khutbah of every Friday. So what is recommended as a regular practice to help memorizing the Qur'an? It is recommended to listen to the recitation of the Qur'an regularly, such as in your free time or while commuting to and from work. The third step is the repeat mode. Recite slowly and don't rush. Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Al-Qasim, the Imam and Khatib of Masjid Al-Nabawi, said that one should recite each ayah 20 times. For example, we take an example from Surah Al-Jumu'ah. Surah Al-Jumu'ah on this page has 8 ayats. So as per the instructions of Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Al-Qasim, that one should recite each ayah 20 times. You recite this ayah, the first ayah 20 times, then you recite the next ayah 20 times, then the third ayah 20 times, and the fourth ayah 20 times. Then you recite the four ayats together 20 times. Then you go to the fifth ayah and recite it 20 times, then the sixth ayah 20 times, and then the seventh ayah 20 times, and then the eighth ayah 20 times. Then you recite from ayah number 5 to 8 20 times. Then you recite the whole page 20 times. The whole from ayah number 1 till ayah number 8 20 times. Then you go to the next page and you recite the next ayats 20 times each, and then you complete the whole surah 20 times. So this is the way Shaykh Abdul Muhsin Al-Qasim instructed his students to recite or how to memorize the Qur'an. One can also add one more step to this procedure. Repeat each ayah 20 times by reading from the Mus'haf. Then repeat the ayah 10 times without looking from the Mus'haf. Then you go to the next ayah and repeat 20 times looking into the Mus'haf, and 5 or 10 times without looking into the Mus'haf. Then repeat ayah number 1 and ayah number 2 together 20 times looking into the Mus'haf, and 10 times without looking into the Mus'haf. This will help you gain more confidence in memorization. Fourth, in the Quran memorization halaqah, before you recite your ustaz, review what you have memorized with your friend. Let him look at the Mus'haf while you're reciting so that he can correct you if there is any mistake. Then you listen to his memorization in the same way. This will help you build confidence while reciting it in front of your ustaz. Also, when you are at home, you can record your recitation without looking into the Mus'haf, and then listen to the recording to check if there is any mistake. But the best method is to have someone else listen to your recitation to help you out with the review. Fifth, avoid sins. This is a topic for another time, but in short, avoid sins if you want to retain what you have memorized. وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد.